As I pulled the bracelet out from the sofa gap, a bullet chat flew across my vision. Just because of this bracelet, you will die a miserable death. The hand that touched it will be chopped off and fed to dogs, and the eyes that saw it will be gouged out and soaked in sulfuric acid. I quickly pulled my hand back. I turned toward the kitchen to wash dishes, but on the counter, there appeared a toddler's bowl. It contained his wife's saliva. Whoever dared to wash it off would become fertilizer for the back garden tonight. I looked at that pink bunny bowl and carefully avoided it. At this moment, the sparse bullet chat suddenly surged in volume. She just avoided it so naturally. She's definitely not a newbie. She must be a horror game pro here for a vacation. Impossible. I've never seen a pro so cute, yet so strong. I lowered my eyelids, silently observing these bullet chats. Just then, the host of the house came downstairs. He lifted the cushions on the living room sofa and gathered us together with a beaming smile. Which kind soul found the necklace I lost? I'm going to give him a big reward tonight. Everyone held their breath and moved closer slowly, afraid that even the slightest noise would trigger some dangerous mechanism. Yesterday, someone looked into the host's eyes for more than 3 seconds and was dragged away by a monster instantly. Their whereabouts remain unknown. I cast my gaze down, avoiding the host's eyes while gauging the active bullet chats in front of me, knowing he'll dismember all these cuties. But seeing that face, I still can't help having a physical reaction. Hey, don't let your morals follow your eyes. It's bad. They have to find the hidden Easter egg in order to survive safely tonight, but the egg is different in every round. No one knows what it is. I looked at the bullet chats searching for a way to survive, but aside from comments about us girls' appearances, there was no useful information at all. A pair of cold, blue eyes scanned us, looking us over. This was the first time he used such a gentle tone of voice with us. That bracelet was a birthday gift I gave to Xiao Yan. If it's lost, Xiao Yan will be angry. I don't want to see her shed tears. Whoever finds it will be today's lucky one. Because the reward is. I heard their breathing grow heavy. Everyone wanted to be the lucky one. The reward is being able to rest until our employment relationship is terminated. Everyone's breathing completely faltered. How is this different from cheating? Doesn't this mean clearing the game directly without taking any risks? I saw the short-haired girl beside me bite her lip, whispering in an extremely excited voice. Could this be the Easter egg? I was suddenly jolted. Am I not the only one here who can see the bullet chats? Mr. Employer, I have long heard of the story between you and your wife. I am truly moved and very honored to be the lucky one to clean the house for you today. I'm different from them. I work very carefully. So only I discovered the bracelet your beloved wife dropped in the sofa gap. See? I've kept it safe and it hasn't gotten dirty at all. So you touched it. The host interrupted her. The bullet chat refreshed with a mass of white candles. It's over, it's over. One less newbie. I heard she was quite skilled. Some sleepless expert was chasing her. A few days ago she was showing off on social media, saying she wasn't like other rookies, that she had cleared an S-rank dungeon. You've seen it and touched it, haven't you? The host suddenly looked pained, staring at the bracelet in the girl's hand. My Xiao Yan was right. She was absolutely right. She said someone would definitely steal our bracelet, using her most precious bracelet just to catch a thief like you. Do you have any idea how disgusting you are? But I will not skimp on the reward. As promised, for tonight's dinner, you shall help prepare the food. The bullet chat began to scroll frantically. What help prepare? It's obvious the short-haired girl is the food being prepared. 10 p.m. The host emerged from the basement. His hands looked as if they had been soaked in water for too long, turning white and wrinkled. He gathered us together again. Who will be the server for tonight's late-night snack? Man, if the server sees what's inside and spills the soup in a panic, they'll be taken to the garden as fertilizer. I dare not look, haha. These rookies are going to be wiped out tonight. I dazed off while reading the bullet chats, my mind racing, thinking about how to survive tonight and successfully stay in the bodies of these strange girls. I don't belong to this world where you can get rich by clearing game scenarios. A few days ago, I was still unable to pay rent, worrying about which park to sleep in. Today, I can sit in this warm little villa Having had 2 warm, decent meals, I truly felt happy enough to die. And because of these 2 meals, I've actually started looking forward to tomorrow. The host's gaze fixed on me. You come be the server. You are standing closest. Before, because I was short, I was always pushed to the back of the line, so by the time the food at the shelter reached me, only scraps were left. Since coming here, every time food is served, I always make sure to sit closest to the pot. I didn't expect that this habit would turn me into the server. Oh, she's a cute girl. So calm. I'm starting to believe she's some pros. Little protege. I wipe the sweat from my palms. I'm just slow to react, not blind. I'm already scared to death, okay? 1 scoop per person. Do not spill the soup my beloved cooked. If you dare spill a single drop, you're fired immediately. Analyzing the bullet chats I've seen. In this scenario, fired means being eliminated. If a rookie is eliminated without a revival card, it means true death. Obviously, this body is just as poor as I am. And doesn't have anything high-end like a revival card. I peered into the food barrel. In the pale, oily water, some chunks of meat floated in and out of sight. There was even a lot of black hair, tumbling with the boiling soup. Everyone sat in their seats, trembling. But with 1 scoop, I saw a mangled severed limb. My stomach churned instantly. I don't remember this plot in this scenario. Don't you guys notice something's wrong? It seems that to prevent cheating, the later levels have been changed directly. I looked at this pot of soup, and the nausea I just felt suddenly vanished. Just to get a bite to eat. I've even helped slaughter pigs for the new year. I could tell with 1 glance that the organs floating on top were pigs. Maybe the short-haired girl isn't dead at all. I ladled out the soup, scoop by scoop. My hand is steady as if I were threading a needle for an old lady. Holy cow. This cute girl is so strong. I really suspect she can see our bullet chats. Cute wifey. I hope you can see my confession to you. The guy above, please wake up. If she clears this scenario, her value will be at least S rank. The reward money is accumulated from several rounds. It's probably over 100 pages by now. Would she even look at you? Does anyone want another bowl? Not only did I serve the meal steadily, I even asked kindly. After finishing the work, starving, I gulped down a bowl. Sure enough, it tasted like pork soup. Everything was fine except for too much salt. Everyone stared at me with looks of disbelief, followed immediately by a chorus of retching nearby. Although the cute girl completed the task, there are only 10 minutes left. The night is ending. None of the rookies here found the Easter egg. Sadly, they all have to die. The last 10 minutes. I panicked in the heat of the moment. The host scanned us with cold eyes. This is the soup my beloved cooked for you. Dragging your feet like this is very impolite. The corners of his mouth slowly curled up, his gaze drifting toward me vaguely. Unless you are lucky enough to get my beloved's forgiveness, you must all die. As he spoke, the host gazed with loving eyes toward that mysterious bedroom where no maid was ever allowed to step. All of us were anxiously looking at that field of competition, hoping the mistress would come down, even if just to plead for mercy for us. Time passed minute by minute. The host began to sharpen his knife with a smile, seemingly looking forward to the end of the countdown. Several girls beside me were already crying hysterically. It was better to speak up and beg. Go find the mistress and earn a living. The scent of death grew stronger and stronger, while I looked at the upstairs room. Suddenly, a thought flashed through my brain. I said to the host sharpening his knife, "Babe, is there not enough fertilizer in the garden? I made today's soup too salty. If you kill them, who will be my food taster tomorrow? How about we just let it go for today?" Total silence all around. Everyone stared at me in shock, their faces saying, "If you're tired of living, don't drag us down with you." However, after a flicker of shock in those cold blue eyes, they actually turned into a pool of gentle water. "Babe, didn't I tell you not to cook personally? You must be exhausted. Don't cook for these blind things. Next time, none of them are worthy of your skills." The bullet chat froze for a few seconds, then it suddenly exploded. Am I seeing this right? You can play it like this? The first day of escaping death, I finally managed to survive. I returned to the maid's dormitory feebly to rest. But as soon as I entered, I was punched by a desperate survivor. "You must have cheated. Are you the mastermind or an employee?" Otherwise, why did so many veteran players die? While you, a rookie, created an Easter egg? The force of the punch sent me crashing against the wall. The taste of blood quickly filled my mouth. I spat a mouthful of bloody water back at him. This unexpected disgust made him scream a few times. Getting beaten again. Why am I no longer in my original world? But I still can't escape the fate of being hit. The other survivors also glared at me as if realizing something. No wonder you intentionally didn't wash the dishes. Intentionally didn't clean the sofa. You guided the short-haired girl to find the necklace. From the beginning. You were the one who knew the rules of the game. Your cheating killed her. And just now when serving the meal, you intentionally sat next to the food barrel, didn't you? I looked at them with amusement. Didn't you guys scramble to sit in the back? They watched me like hawks. As if they had already come up with a strategy. Among us, the strongest, the short-haired girl, is already dead. Since we already know your identity. From now on, whatever you do, we'll imitate. If we die together. But if you want to keep the prize money for yourself. No way. A strange ringing suddenly sounded. The broadcast voice echoed in the dormitory. Night has fallen. Please close your eyes, survivors. And welcome tomorrow's new maid tasks. The reminder sounded like a death warrant. Everyone couldn't help but shudder. I got onto the bed, but at that moment, the maid's door was suddenly opened from the outside. Instantly, a spine-chilling laughter squeezed through the gap in the door. I closed my eyes, my mind racing through countless possibilities. You've slept in the wrong room. Before I could confirm exactly which scenario was unfolding, footsteps had already stopped by my bed. But the bullet chat arrived faster than the danger. She just admitted she was the wife of the dungeon boss, Xiao Yan. From now on, she must not show even a hint of being a player. Since this instance opened on day 1. Absolutely no player has ever seen this host's wife. Based on my years of experience evaluating horror games, I can say for certain, she's a rookie who won't survive the night. Cold sweat kept pouring out of my skin. The host's icy voice crawled into my ear. Baby, you aren't my wife Xiao Yan, are you? Otherwise, why would you sleep in the maid's dormitory? Haven't you always hated being touched by these people the most? Several survivors buried their heads in their quilts, pretending to be fast asleep, but I clearly heard someone in the darkness, laughing with schadenfreude. Everyone was waiting for me to die. I sat up with a start. Felt the host's face in the dark. And then, hard and unexpectedly, I slapped him. You knew perfectly well I was sleeping in the maid's room. You knew I was enduring the disgust and unhappiness of being around them. I pulled out the acting skills I learned in the circus. Up a notch. But why did you only come to find me now? Seconds felt like years in the terrifying silence. The next second, cold lips were suddenly pressed against mine. At that moment, my brain went blank. Sorry, babe. I was wrong. Come back with me. Please. This is my first kiss. The bullet chat immediately sent a barrage of curses. Holy sh*t. Did that slap actually turn the boss on? I remember the dev team spent 20 years on this boss. And to enrich his character, his hidden keywords were designed as gloomy, beautiful, and Yandere. No wonder the host's profile is so striking. Even the interaction with this human witch is so intense. I swallowed nervously. What android-like cute girl? That was purely me being scared senseless, okay? Because my parents didn't want me after their divorce. I learned to be funny, pleasing, and act crazy in a heartless society since I was a child. But I didn't expect that today I would rely on pretending to be someone else's wife just to survive. I was carried like a navigational guide, and with every step he took up the stairs, I was one step closer to the mistress's mysterious bedroom. What should I do? When the time comes and I'm face to face with his wife, he will definitely kill an imposter like me, right? Soon, that room that no one had ever entered was opened so easily before my eyes. I was so nervous I almost fainted. The first thing I saw was the stuffed toy my parents threw away when I was a child. The second thing was the Manon-style furniture I used in my childhood. With the third look, I summoned the courage to look at the desk and bed and confirmed that every corner was empty. Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, I saw a wide and large balcony. This inevitably made me think of the area under the balcony, where the short-haired girl had become fertilizer. The big boss didn't put me down, but instead, as if admiring some rare treasure, his gaze passed over my features inch by inch. Being so close to his breath, I had to turn my head to the side to get a breath of cool air. The style of the bullet chat suddenly changed. Wait, something feels a bit off. It's a bit ambiguous. Is the cute girl not a player? Is her true identity an NPC? The boss's official wife, Xiaoyan? What a huge twist. My heart pounded violently. Just as I decided to push the big boss away. Lin Mubei. I've finally found you. My shoulder suddenly felt heavy. His low, gentle voice whispered in my ear. His head rested closely against me, like an exhausted beast, quietly burying his head on my shoulder. He collapsed onto me, and I was just as exhausted. Wait, Lin Mubei. That's my name. How could he know? Does this body have the same name? Sleepiness and confusion clouded my vision one after another. I fell asleep in a daze while leaning against him. When I opened my eyes again, the sky was already bright. I rolled out of bed, looking in confusion at the new silk pajamas I was wearing. Who changed my clothes? Isn't this a horror scenario? Why did nothing happen all night? While my head was spinning with countless questions, a gust of wind blew in from the balcony. The sheer curtains were slowly blown back, revealing a wall full of photos behind them. I stood in shock. In front of the densely packed photos, every single one was of me. The photos on the wall were like a projector, flashing through my 15 years of life. It was me at 5, homeless after Linny House parents pushed responsibility for me back and forth. It was me at 16, breaking my leg in the circus, dressed as a clown to make people happy just for a bite to eat. It was me at 10, starving and eating others' leftovers, because I couldn't afford school meals. My tears fell unexpectedly. It wasn't until I calmed down that I saw the photo hidden in the corner. A photo of me as a child with a handsome young boy. The boy's sharp, superior features were almost identical to the boss in this dungeon. Before I could think further, the bullet chats that had disappeared all night appeared again out of nowhere. How strange. Why was the live stream black last night? What happened? Only now did I snap out of it. It was because someone cut off the stream and bullet chats that I was able to sleep so soundly. Perhaps I was immersed in childhood memories for too long. For when I stepped out of the bedroom, it was already late. I opened the door and found a dining cart at the entrance, with my favorite braised sari on it. Back when my mother still loved me, she would often cook this dish for me. In the motherless days that followed, it was the dish I missed the most. I eagerly picked up the chopsticks and slowly put it into my mouth. At that moment, the aroma of the food instantly triggered my most beautiful childhood memories, with large tears falling. I finished the plate of sari, but the bullet chat was already screaming. Is this rookie here for a vacation? When her companions went to buy groceries, they were chased by a street full of entities, and she's actually here leisurely eating grilled sari? Haven't you heard? They say this boss likes prey that lacks oxygen. He lets the prey relax before killing them bit by bit. The bullet chats made my heart skip a beat. More and more entities were breaking into the boss's house. A survivor screaming for their life saw me and immediately ran toward me. The entity that hadn't seen me before turned toward my direction. The first rule of survival in horror scenarios is, as long as you run faster than others, you can survive the jaws of the entity. The bullet chat began to gloat. She was just lucky to survive one night. But that won't work today. These entities have no intelligence. They are just monsters that kill any player they see. My legs went weak with fear. Running for my life, I ran headfirst into the pouncing entity. The entity opened its bloody maw. The survivor hiding nearby gave me a smile of relief at their narrow escape. But the next second, that entity fell with a thud and knelt before me. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I was blind. You were already wearing pajamas, and I still didn't realize you were the boss's person. The childhood friend he searched for over 10 years, but it was too late. The entity's mouth was suddenly pried open by the host's bare hands. And then, just like splitting a dragon fruit, it was instantly torn in two. As expected of the boss, even if he only had human features, he could make countless supernatural entities scatter in fear as soon as they saw him. The survivors nearby saw the scene, and their expressions froze instantly. The bullet chat finally became uncontrollable. The boss was protecting her just now. Is the rookie cheating? Wait, this is clearly the big boss exhaling in anger. The crystal lamp on the ceiling suddenly went dark. Why can't I see again? A strange premonition flashed through my heart. I felt like the big boss had known me for a long time. The next second, amidst the screams of the players in the dark, he walked straight towards me. Long time no see. I am Lin Muyang. In the flickering candlelight, I scrutinized his face until it merged with the beautiful and eerie boy from my memories. My eyes widened in disbelief. So you really existed? You weren't just my imagination. In 2010, just as I finished counting the 5 candles on my birthday cake, my parents stopped arguing. They looked at me for a long time. Just send her to the circus. She's young. By the time she grows up and wants to sue us, she won't even remember us. And we can get some money right away. The money isn't the point, she's just too small. She can't even speak clearly. She'll be beaten to death at the circus. Fine then. Send her to your mother's place. Maybe your little lover is kind-hearted and won't mind that you have a child. After they finished smashing things, I looked at little Yang while trembling. Do they not want me anymore? His eyes were filled with confusion. Why wouldn't they want you? You are so good. Lin Muyang was my imaginary friend. Once, when I was so hungry I hallucinated, I saw this eerie boy, because he said he had no name, and that he was a defective product from a game, who could disappear at any time. Perhaps because from him, I sensed a kindred spirit. I soon considered him my best friend. But he said he had no name. So I solemnly extended my palm to him. Hi, I'm Lin Mubei. Mom says the North Bay room has no sun, Yang. Why don't you be Lin Mubei's son? Shine on me always, and keep me warm for the rest of my life, okay? How about I call you Lin Muyang? The boy didn't agree to the name immediately. But from then on, as long as I called for Lin Muyang, he would appear. Of course, I was still sent to the circus. Later, all basic human needs became rewards for completing my tasks, but if I failed to complete them, I would be punished. What awaited me was not comfort, but reprimands time and time again. Endless skills to learn and acrobatic performances to practice over and over again became the most common things in my childhood. Once during a performance, I was too tired. My legs gave out and I slipped. My leg was badly injured. It hurt so much I couldn't stand properly. Everyone gathered around. The look in their eyes was exactly the same as when my parents left me. This time, I trembled even more. Enduring the pain, I desperately straightened my injured leg. Wobbling. And with great effort, I did my cutest signature move. Perhaps it was because I looked so determined not to leave. Or because my hard work touched him. The circus master looked at me and nodded slightly. I was 8 years old that year. I didn't earn money, but I earned my life. After the circus staff left, exhausted from fear, I saw Lin Muyang again. I was tired and suddenly wanted to say my last words. Muyang, you are my best friend in this life. When I die, can you come and get me from the afterlife? That was the first time I saw such a terrifying expression on this imaginary friend's face. Bloodthirsty madness, desire to destroy the world. He tried very hard to smile at me. What do you want? Looking into his eyes full of slaughter, I couldn't help but shiver. I want to go home. I want my mom and dad. I want to eat the grilled sari my mom makes for me. And I want to sleep on a fragrant and soft bed while being held. If that's not possible, then I want to go with you to your world. Because it's too scary here. What more could an 8-year-old child want? Even if she wanted the parents who abandoned her, they were still the most luxurious family in the world to her. He knelt down and stroked my dirty head. Why not? I will bring your mom and dad to you right now. I don't know how he did it. My parents really came to the circus the next day to pick me up. They were overjoyed to take me home. Bought me new clothes. And even moved me into a new home. In the brand new room. It was filled with my favorite plush dolls. I asked him how he did it. He just gave a proud smile. Just give your parents enough money. At that moment, I understood clearly. Lin Muyang was not an imaginary friend, he was real. It's just that no one could see him but me, just when I thought everything was going to get better. Lin Muyang, like the sound of cicadas in autumn, slowly faded out of my world. At 9, my parents each started new families. I was abandoned once again. For the next 10 years, I never saw Lin Muyang again. I became a lonely ghost that no one wanted again. Great, the picture is back. Wait, on top of the boss's head, an 80% progress bar for romancing has appeared. When did this rookie romance him? How is the progress bar almost full as soon as it appeared? I looked up in confusion. Those were still the cold, azure eyes. But he wasn't the Lin Muyang I was familiar with. The once young and thin airy boy had turned into a broad-shouldered, slender-waisted, and sexy man with lean muscles. It's not safe anymore. He got closer and closer to me. I was so nervous I almost bit my tongue. You really won't kill me? He dotingly picked me up horizontally again. The entities flying around behind us automatically made way for him, until the bedroom door locked automatically and we reached the bedside. My body sank, as his entire weight pressed down on me. We are good friends. When you were little, I slept on your bed. Now that we're grown, you sleep on mine. It's fair, right? My face was flushed red. Is this right? Would good friends stay so close and be stacked like this? His cold lips brushed my forehead and gradually became hot. He moved down while coaxing me. We are good friends, right? But you didn't recognize me at first glance. Shouldn't you compensate me for these 10 years of affection? My face was so hot it could roast a sweet potato. Is this right? Do good friends kiss? And for so long? The bullet chats above were like frogs in a pond. Wow, I'm dying. Where's the delivery room? Mom, Dad, I'm being reborn. His icy blue eyes seemed to be set on fire. My silence became the permission for him to start the fire. Lin Muyang really became the sun, Yang. He almost burned me to death at that moment. For so many years, I've seen you as a brother. What do you see me as? I murmured shyly in his ear. Although you are quite good-looking. But so many bullet chats are watching me. His sharp canine teeth bit my shoulder. Understood. I'll turn them off for you. With a whoosh, the bullet chat started howling again. Refund. I want a refund. I took time off just to watch your live stream. On the third day of being pulled into this dungeon, the style of the bullet chat suddenly changed. Guess how long they worked last night? The boss's record was once 8 entities in a row. Stamina is not his limit. No wonder the little rookie hasn't gotten up yet. She must have passed out. I rolled over, waking up from a groggy sleep. My whole body was sore. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Lin Muyang with an 85% progress bar above his head, showing a pair of canine teeth with a pleasing face. Little Bay. Do you like me? But a red warning suddenly flashed in my mind. Don't say you like him. You can be physical with him, but never lose your heart. Yesterday, we already checked the strategy for this dungeon overnight. This boss has a unique Gander romance system. Once the progress reaches 100, the player will be locked by the boss for life. Unable to escape his grasp until death, forever imprisoned in this dungeon. I hesitantly looked away. We are good friends. Good friends who grew up together. When the dungeon is over, you must come to visit me often. Lin Muyang's pupils suddenly contracted. You want to go back? He didn't hurt me. There was food and drink in the dungeon. As a childhood playmate with deep feelings for the boss, the entities here were all very eager to please me. They were polite and everything was fine, but I still missed the unfulfilled promises in the real world. In these 10 years, my parents were busy with their respective families and later died in accidents one after another. As a minor, I was sponsored by a kind older sister, until high school. At 19, holding an admission letter from a prestigious university, I was full of hope to fight against fate. A 19-year-old who crawled out of a dark gutter, yet was suddenly pulled into this dungeon where time stood still. Lin Muyang is really good. But I don't want to be locked for my whole life in this dungeon with only Lin Muyang. Another 3 days passed in a flash. Today is the 7th day of the dungeon. The final deadline for clearing it. I sat before the dishes he carefully cooked for me. But I had no appetite. What? Is the food I cooked not good? Then I'll feed you myself. Looking at his mischievous smile after succeeding, I had no choice but to drink the soup in the bowl with resentment. The bullet chat started discussing my final ending. The rookie didn't try to romance the boss. But the boss has already romanced himself to 99%. In other words, even if the rookie can survive in this dungeon, even if she gets the 100 billion prize money, she won't be able to leave this dungeon alive. Because once she wants to go out, he will kill her. I couldn't stop shaking. Lin Muyang suddenly kissed away the tear stains on my face. Can you say you like me? I won't kill you. I shook even more violently. So, he always knew what the bullet chat was saying to me. I was like someone who couldn't have secrets, with nothing to hide before him. In the eerie silence, suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind the restaurant. This is so hilarious. A love-brained boss. And a stupid, useless rookie. You both can go to hell. This 100 billion must be mine. A sudden sharp pain hit my chest in my increasingly blurred vision. I saw someone holding a weapon. A fully armed girl with short hair. But isn't she dead? Muyang suddenly rushed to kiss me. Close your eyes. After he snapped his fingers, a warm current soon flowed into my body. My willpower, which I was gradually losing, was instantly restored. Holy cow. The boss gave his HP bar to her. What's the use? In the end, he was still outsmarted by the short-haired girl. She used an item to resurrect at the grand finale. To sneak attack this rookie. In the end, while the boss proactively gave his HP bar to the rookie. She's taking his life while he's weak. It really is a horror game. How could there be no experts in a horror game? Over 100 billion. When the short-haired girl kills the boss and comes out, she will be number 1 on the horror game leaderboard. The color on Lin Muyang's lips gradually faded. So what if he was the boss? He would die without an HP bar. Lin Muyang. Stop. I'm telling you to stop. This terrible thought swept over me like a tidal wave. If the HP bar is gone, he will die. Countless ghosts, one after another, opened their bloody mouths at the short-haired girl. But the equipment in her hand was too good. Before they could get close, they were shot and exploded one by one. At that moment, I suddenly wanted nothing, even if I had to stay here forever. It was better than Lin Muyang dying in front of me. He fell at my feet, but still obsessively asked me, unless you say you like me. He actually dared to threaten me, but this time, he won. Yes. I like you. I liked you a long, long time ago. Lin Muyang gave a satisfied chuckle. Then the progress bar above his head flashed and turned to 100. What's the use of a full romance bar? His HP bar was completely empty. His eyes closed weakly. He lied to me, he's still going to die. I cried until I couldn't catch my breath. But the next second, the closed eyes in my arms suddenly opened. Lin Muyang curled the corners of his mouth with a mischievous smile. Who told you the boss only has 1 HP bar? Alright. Now it's my turn. My tears were not yet dry. I was tricked by him again. Holy. This boss has more schemes than a honeycomb. Never mind, everything else is just secondary. The rookie is his true love. With a snap of his fingers, the weapon in the short-haired girl's hand exploded. All the ghosts sighed in relief. Finally. If you had flirted for any longer, we would have all been finished. Lin Muyang walked calmly to her, the corners of his mouth curving into a ruthless arc mismade. Didn't I remind you on the first day? I love my wife very much. What she has detested is not qualified to touch her. By the way, which hand did you use to hurt her just now? The short-haired girl retreated in horror, frantically opening her armory. Before she could find a new defensive item, her hand popped like a balloon. Useless things. You guys can have her. All the entities pressed down on her like hungry wolves pouncing on prey. Even her screams could no longer be heard. Number of survivors, 1. The 10th round of the dungeon is over. The dungeon has been cleared by the player and will now be permanently closed. Will the only survivor, Lin Mubei, please exit the dungeon within 5 minutes. The prize money will automatically, the bullet chat exploded. Lin Mubei, remember this name. She will be the richest woman in the horror game world. Sister, look at me. I'm handsome, have a sweet voice, and I'm strong. Stop shouting, upstairs. She can't get out. This boss was set up with a Yandere program. He won't be able to bear letting Lin Mubei go. Everything was over, but I felt a bit empty. The university admission letter was still in my rental room. The date I made to have dinner with my sponsor would also be put on hold forever. Lin Muyang saw my disappointment. You're not happy staying by my side, are you? But I'm not that selfish. I can't just watch you leave here. So Lin Muyang closed his eyes. And his cold, soft lips covered mine. He couldn't stop trembling. I could have pretended that I was an emotionless monster. But you gave me a name. I was used to the darkness. But you let me see the sun, Yang. Let me disappear in this kiss. I pushed him away abruptly, but it was already too late. Lin Muyang had activated the self-destruction program. I couldn't even see his last expression clearly. A cold countdown sounded in my ear. The boss has activated the self-destruction program. You are now being automatically teleported back to your original world. It was like I had a long and real dream. When I opened my eyes in my rental room, the university admission letter was quietly waiting for me. The familiar ringtone rang. I looked at the caller ID. It was the kind sister who had given me so many years of sponsorship and hope. I gave myself a big smile again. It's okay. Lin Muyang, that horror dungeon. It was all fake. He was just my childhood imaginary friend. I won't be sad. I'm extremely happy now. I really don't feel the breakdown of a breakup. Or the sudden emptiness. Ding. A new message from my mobile bank account popped up. Dear Ms. Lin Mubei. Our bank has upgraded you to a premier VIP customer. A private manager has been assigned to you. I counted the zeros for 100 billion. Walking out the door, I walked on the hot asphalt road. But I was shivering with cold. The 100 billion was real. Lin Muyang's death was also real. I turned on my phone, regretting that I didn't take a final photo with him in the dungeon. Someone tapped my shoulder from behind. I was unaware. I've sponsored you for so many years. Yet you look so unhappy at our first meeting. Huh? Why is it a boy's voice? Didn't they always say in the text messages that they were an older sister? Wait, this voice sounds so familiar. I turned around. A pair of sharp canine teeth smiled at me. Long time no see. Let me introduce myself officially. I am Lin Muyang. The little Yang who can shine on Little Bay for a lifetime. In order to meet you, I am the first horror boss to escape through death. Hey, why aren't you congratulating me?